Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to another episode of Untuma and Sordawado. So, inshallah, today's episode it is breakfast themed. So, we'll be making three healthy and on-the-go breakfasts, and they are all actually muffin inspired. So, inshallah, let's get started. So, with our first recipe here, we'll be making strawberry coconut muffin. It is so delicious and so simple to make, and these are our ingredients. So, inshallah, we will start with getting first, obviously, we need to preheat our oven to 350. Once we do that, we get a large bowl. We are going to swift our flour. So we are going to add our salt, our baking soda, and our baking powder. Again, my measurements are going to be posted in my description box below. So definitely watch out for that. So you can always check that out. So go ahead and dump all the flour in there and swift it. This will prevent our flour, our batter from lump by being all lumpy. Yeah? There is our sugar. And then we are just going to whisk that with a spatula there. So just kind of mix everything together. That was our dry ingredients. And now we are going to move on with our wet ingredients. So in a different bowl, we are going to combine our egg, which is at room temperature. We are going to pour in there our oil. So here I'm using vegetable oil, but you can also use canola oil as well. And then we have our yogurt. Here I have about 1 cup of yogurt. Going to whisk all that together, and then once it's well combined, well mixed, we are going to combine our dry and our wet ingredients together. So make sure you pour all of that in there, and then use your spatula again. Here we are not using a hand mixer. We are just going to use our spatula or a spoon, and just go ahead and have that mixed and combined all those ingredients together. So once we have that, we are going to dump in our strawberries. So for this recipe, obviously it's a strawberry coconut muffin, but obviously you can use blueberries, you can use raspberries, whatever fruit that you prefer. So go ahead and mix that. Do not over mix it because that will kind of break the fruit apart. But just make sure it's well incorporated in there in the batter. So you can here use a paper lining, which I'm using, or you can basically just grease your pan. So either way works. So go ahead and get a scoop of the batter in there, and then just dump it in the liner or your the pan there. And then once you do that for all of them, we are going to sprinkle a little bit of coconut, shredded coconut on there. Obviously, this is optional, but it does require for this the recipe that I'm making here. We are going to put the pan in our preheated oven for about 20 minutes. So you have it in there for 350 degrees. And then once you are able to insert a toothpick and it comes out dry, that's how you know that it's ready. So obviously it does vary depending on your oven, but definitely at least 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. So now, inshallah, we are going to move on to our second recipe. So this one is our scrambled egg muffins. This is so good. Obviously, these are the vegetables that I use, but you can you can add whatever vegetables that you want. But it cannot be any simpler, you guys. You just basically dump in your spinach here that I have that I put in there, and then we have our mushrooms, onions, and tomato there. And then we are just going to add our seasoning. So seasoning is quite simple. It's just salt, black pepper, and I also use garlic powder. It's not like obviously like using actual raw garlic because that will intensify the taste, but garlic powder just gives it that little bit of a kick, so I definitely do recommend it. And then we are also going to just add in our eggs. So here we have 12 eggs. Once you've cracked all those eggs, try to have them room temperature as well. We are just going to whisk everything together. So this one is really, really easy. It does not require much work. And again, like I said, with the vegetables that you're using, you can use as much or as little as you want. Obviously, you don't want to have too much vegetables in there because then it'll be too heavy. Again, we're going to grease our pan and of course, have your oven on. I don't want to constantly mention that, but obviously throughout this whole video, we are cooking, baking in the oven. So have your oven on to 350. It needs to always be preheated before we put in our mixtures in here. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese in there. Again, this is optional. You can, if you want to reduce the calorie, do not add the cheese. But if you're feeding to kids, for instance, they definitely would love it. So go ahead and put that in there, put it in the oven for about 20 minutes or till it pops up. And this is our end product. This is how it's going to look. And it is, mashallah, could not be any simpler. And it is so, so delicious. I'm just going to show you how it's going to look once you cut through it. So you can even kind of see the steam there, but it's nice and cheesy, super, super healthy. We have our spinach and, our all the ingredients that we need that are healthy and good for the morning. So here, this is our last recipe that we'll be making here, and it is our mini pancake muffins. Who doesn't love to have pancakes in the morning? Definitely a Western tradition. So we will start with, obviously, oven needs to be preheated to 350. We are going to just basically apply some butter onto our pan, grease it there, and that's how it'll look. We're going to move that to the side and then get started with our batter, inshallah. So again, we are going to sift our flour to avoid any lumps. We are going to add our salt, baking soda, and baking powder. And go ahead and sift that. Once we do that, we are going to add our sugar. So this does not require too much sugar. We have our oil. So again, here, vegetable oil. You can use canola if you'd like. And there's a little bit of lemon juice, about 1 tablespoon, and just 1 egg here. So just like with the egg mixture, you're just basically dumping everything together. Our milk here as well. And then we're going to add a little bit of vanilla extract, and a dash of salt, not too much salt. And then just a couple of drops of vanilla extract. And then we're just going to use a hand mixture here. And do not over mix it as well, because it does affect, the way it comes out. And then we are going to take a scoop of our batter and then pour it into the pan. And then once we fill the whole pan, we are going to add our toppings. Here, toppings are optional, but obviously, it just enhances the taste. It makes it so much better, more playful, especially if you're giving it to kids. So here, you can add whatever toppings you want, but what I have here are white chocolate chips. I have some shredded coconut, as well as chunks of pieces of peach. So you can use strawberry, whatever you want. So go ahead and put it into our preheated oven. Again, we're going to check to see if it's ready. Normally it shouldn't take more than 10 to 12 minutes, but again, it does depends on your oven, the temperature of it. And this is our end product, you guys. Mashallah. It ended up being so, so delicious. Serve it however you like. Again, with all of these, you can basically make them the night before. You can store them in the freezer, put them in a Ziploc bag, and just microwave it. This is really something that you could do on the go quick for those busy days. So this is, I love, and my kids love eating it with a little bit of maple syrup in there, and it is mashallah amazing. This is our end product, you guys. These are all our recipes. Again, these are for people who, don't have time to make breakfast or anything, and these are all healthy alternatives instead of having to go out and purchase something. So inshallah, if you guys want to see more great, quick, on the go breakfast, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. Let me know how it turns out for you guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And as always, for those who are not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. All right, Assalamu alaikum.